What are maybe the top 3 things you think people should be thinking about in credit unions when they are kind of approaching coming into compliance with this particular area?
Well, 3 things that I think they really have to worry about is, 1, establishing a committee that is more than just an identity theft red flags committee. A committee that will go as a risk management committee throughout their entire credit union. And the process has to be put in place in the second part, where every time they think about a new product, and I'm not talking now just about a new account, but if they're going to open new things such as safe deposit boxes or any other new product, it has to be put into the process of identity theft red flags. And the final thing is reporting it, I think, to the board every year. While they say they can report just to a senior officer, I think the board should have on record that somebody's talking to them about it. So if there's ever any lawsuits that come against the credit union later, there is a documentation that they have done the proper work in advance.
Okay.
Well, that's correct. And the big thing about it is that they're going to have to get involved in an area that is not part of the regulations at the present time. Actually, 2. 1 is social engineering. The weakest link in this entire process is going to be their own staff. They have to worry about how they're going to train the staff. They're going to have to worry, when identifying a red flag, that it might not just be a red flag. It might be a very obvious thing that isn't identity theft. A good example would be somebody comes in, opens up a new account with them, a new member starts, but they give them a P.O. box. Is a P.O. box a bad thing, or is it a good thing? If you're looking at just from the regulations, maybe it's a bad thing. But if the individual is someone like myself who is traveling continually, they do not want to have a mailbox on the side of the road bulging with mail. So they're going to have a drop box somewhere where their mail is delivered. So the question and the way that people should be trained is, if it is them seeing that it is something, then the question next should be, well, why do you do that? Why are you doing something like that? The explanation may not be a red flag at all. It could explain the problem very quickly. So this is something we have to worry about in the future.
So for credit unions, it really is about knowing your member.
Definitely. So what the compliance officer has to really be prepared for when the examiner walks in is being able to show that every account has been evaluated.
Every account?
Every account. Now, I don't mean every individual account, but every type of account. They have something like safe deposit boxes, one that I like to look at because it's something people normally don't think about. But they need to look at what would possibly be a problem with a safe deposit box too, and then what the red flags would be identified with that. So they need to show that they have gone through that. They also are going to need to show and expect that the examiners are going to look at their CIP policies, their information security policies, and probably even their regular security policy, physical security, to see what is happening and if the credit union's actual identity theft red flag program is taking into account these other programs and any problems they may have found in past audits.